Hey guys, and welcome to episode 4 of PAXP. I'm your host, Victor, along here with Roman. Want to say something, Roman?
Hello, everyone.
Your PlayStation and Xbox podcast.
So, the first thing I want to talk about is not even video games. It's about John. If anyone has seen John, please let us know. We've literally lost the man. He didn't show up this time. He won't answer our calls. I think he might be upset.
Yeah, he hasn't replied to our messages, so I don't know. You know, if for those of you keeping up, he had a little episode last week. We tried to encourage him to come up to the mic and say a few words, but
he almost did it. He almost.
So I thought he was good, but he had a little episode and ran out, as some of you may know. But
literally ran out.
Literally. Anyway, so
I guess figuratively wouldn't make sense.
So kick it off.
Anyway, I want to start off with this. And it's been a hot topic now for at least a few weeks, maybe a little longer, at least in this form. And here's the story. EA cancels a single-player Star Wars game. Video game news outlets freak out because they think that the end of single-player games is nigh. And that's really what it is. That's exactly how they seem to feel. IGN, I listen to their podcast all the time, and they've mentioned this over and over and over again. They keep bringing up how they think that single-player games are dying. Game Informer wrote an article about it. And I think there's a news outlet called VG and some other ones, and it's coming out everywhere. I think even Forbes had an article.
Really?
On why they think that video games are dying, or maybe they're not dying, or whatever, right? Everybody's talking about it. So the first thing I want to say is this.
And these are more recent, or because I feel like I haven't heard any of that.
It's very, very recent. It all started with the Star Wars game cancellation like a month ago.
Right.
Like even less than a month ago. And so here's what I want to get into, though. In this episode, and I mean by episode not the podcast, but the actual episode of this cancellation.
Yeah.
As far as single player games dying, it didn't start here. It did not start with the Star Wars thing. It actually started about 15 years ago.
Really? 15 years ago?
I went back and if you Google our single player games dying,
is that with the start of the internet?
Like in gaming, basically. Yeah. If you look back, if you just go to Google or Bing and you type in "are video games dying" and then put a year at the end, whatever year you put in, you will find articles with that title or with that subject for every single year.
Are video games dying?
Exactly. A single player game is dying.
A single player game.
So it's literally no different than that guy in New York City with a sign that says the end is nigh. That's how seriously you should take the subject. And here's a very good example. In 2014, mid 2014 in the summertime, there was an article that was actually called, it used those words, "Are single player games dying?"
Wow.
And it talked about how they are. In less than a year later, you know what game came out? Probably the biggest single-player only game of this generation, Witcher 3. Less than a year later. So if single-player games are dying, why are they making massive single-player only games?
Yeah, because in my opinion, I don't think they are dying.
Yeah,
I don't think they're dying. I think if anything, multiplayer and co-op gaming is maybe becoming more popular and more of you'll see it as a feature more often in a game. So I think that's why, just the amount of people or video games that contain that option, I think is almost every game has some kind of multiplayer online function to it.
For instance, would you consider Gears of War, the campaign, single player or multiplayer?
I would probably single player.
Yeah, but even though you can play the whole thing co-op.
Yeah.
Up to 4 people.
Yeah. Have they all been like that?
Every single Gears of War game. That's the thing. And I would agree with you. I would consider that a single-player game. But what makes it so much better is that you can actually enjoy it with a friend. And there's no reason why you wouldn't. I mean, like, I love The Witcher. One of my favorite games. Probably my favorite game of this generation. I would love it even more if you could play co-op.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine tackling missions together?
But see, that's the thing. They have a very similar game like that's co-op.
What is it?
And it's Elder Scrolls Online. Why don't
is
you
it
like...
similar?
What? Well, it's just fantasy open world I mean, what's so different about it?
I don't know.
I mean, the graphic there is a graphic difference, obviously, but
it looks a lot worse.
It
It looks a lot. It looks so much worse.
I'll admit, but
So yeah, let me interrupt you for 1 second. Comparing the graphics of Witcher 3 and Elder Scrolls Online is like comparing the visual aesthetics of a Ferrari to a Honda Civic. It really is. One looks so much better than the other.
Yeah, no, and that's probably why, right? You would think.
But that and like I really in Elder Scrolls, I never liked the combat, like the sword play. I thought never really felt good. In Witcher, it feels so tight and so good.
Yeah, I mean the fighting mechanics are Witcher are like superb.
You feel totally connected to the player.
Yeah.
I mean, to the player, to the character.
It's very Elder Scroll combat is very rudimentary. It's like very basic.
Yeah.
So I can understand.
And it almost feels like every time you swing your sword into a person, you're gonna swing through them almost. It's weird. Like you never really feel like the contact or anything.
Yeah. No, that game would be cool if it was co-op, because then you can get down on some Gwent, which I really liked.
Oh,
but I love
versus real people.
That'd be fun.
Oh man, I love.
What if we like in co-op and then we just go into like a tavern nearby in the local village, and play some Gwent real quick before we go get it?
Yeah, dude, that'd be so cool.
Oh man, and they try to make Gwent into a standalone like game.
They're still working on it.
Oh, I thought it was released. No,
was it? I thought it was still in beta. I don't know.
Anyway.
They need to release that for phones, cell phones. They don't. It won't work that well as a Xbox game or PlayStation game.
Yeah, I just think single player games are going to be here to stay, really, because I mean, if you just look back at the history of them, for example, take Game of the Year. Almost every single year, Game of the Year award will go to a single player game or a game
Last of Us
or a game that's emphasized on single player.
Uncharted.
Well, for like 2016, so let's start, 2013 coming forward. It was Madden. For 2003, Madden.
Okay, wait. Let's talk about Madden. Is that a single player game or a multiplayer game?
Well, I think it's both. I think Madden, that football game, is like an evenly based game. I think people enjoy just as much doing like the career and stuff as they do playing online.
Yeah.
I don't think either one overpowers the other. And I think that's why Madden is such a good game.
But maybe that's what it's about. Maybe it's about what you enjoy playing most. So, for instance, for me, like the new Call of Duty game, or any Call of Duty game, even though the multiplayer component is so much stronger in each Call of Duty game, I consider it a single-player game because that's what I play. I play very little multiplayer in Call of Duty. Yeah. But I play through the single-player campaign every time, all the way through.
And those campaigns are what, like 5-6 hours long?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're very short. They're really good, though.
Because those games are emphasized on multiplayer, but you like single player.
Yeah, I would still consider single player just because that's what I like. And maybe that's why people are so scared, is because the parts of the game that they connect with most are the multiplayer aspects. And then maybe they need a game to actually tell them that this is single player only and you could only play this alone. And maybe that's what they're scared of, is they're losing that game that has no option, like to play co-op or single player.
Yeah. There's some games that just aren't meant to be played co-op, though. Like Uncharted. I don't think you could play that really co-op. I think that's such a story-driven game. You really should experience by yourself. I mean, yeah.
I don't know.
Someone might agree that every game co-op would be super fun, but I just think some games, like especially like that, like Tomb Raider, I don't think that should really be a co-op
I would say I would agree with that for horror games, because in a scary game, you need that feeling of isolation.
Oh, yeah.
That's why. Otherwise, it's not going to be scary, right?
Yeah.
There's always somebody there with you. Especially if, like, imagine like in a scary game, you're going through and somebody's ahead of you. They'll get all the jump scares, and you're just behind them, just watching.
Yeah, like Resident Evil, that horror game got Game of the Year 2005.
That was cool.
Was it Resident Evil 4?
Actually, no.
It may have been.
Some of the Resident Evil games are co-op. I think. Yeah.
A couple of Grand Theft Autos.
6, I think, are.
Got Game of the Year. Uncharted 2 got Game of the Year 2009.
So that's another one.
Red Dead Redemption 2010. Elder Scroll 2011.
Elder Scroll, which one? Skyrim?
Skyrim, yeah. Witcher 3 got 2015. Overwatch, which is a multiplayer shooter only, that got 2016. But that game was expected to get Game of the Year just because of its popularity.
Have you played it?
I played the demo when they offered it before the actual release, and it was pretty fun. But
I never tried it.
It wasn't really my style of game. It's the kind of game that I think you need like a lot of friends to play with.
Or at least one other friend.
Yeah, but I think they're around to stay because most of the time, Game of the Years are single player games, and there's a strong lineup coming up in games to come that are single player that are just highly anticipated.
Yeah, like for instance, this year we had Super Mario Odyssey, single player only.
Yeah,
The
that
new
game
Zelda.
looks amazing.
Yeah, it's really
all
good.
the time I see a screensaver, man. I mean, a screen capture of gameplay. It's just
I played
so
it.
good.
It's really fun.
Yeah, I thought you didn't. You get it?
No, I haven't gotten it yet,
Oh,
but I
okay.
did play it. I think it comes out. Oh no, it did come out. It did just come out. But yeah, it was fun. It felt a lot like Mario 64, which is good because that game was really fun. I think that's the best Mario game.
Do you think Do you think Nintendo's trying to do something with that? Like, people say Zelda felt like the first one.
Yeah.
Mario feels a lot like the Mario 64. I mean, do you feel like Nintendo's purposely trying to?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nintendo, the only thing they're hanging on by right now is a thread of nostalgia.
Yeah.
And nothing else.
Yeah.
Like,
But I hear the Switch. I hear the Switch is selling
like
massive
crazy.
numbers. Like, they've already outsold what the Wii U sold in its lifetime. Or
So you know
like that.
how good the PlayStation 4 has been selling?
Yeah.
They are right there on par with the PlayStation 4.
Wow.
In the US, they are behind in Europe, and they are ahead in Japan. And overall, they are right there with the PlayStation 4. Like, it's PlayStation 4, Switch just below them, and the Xbox a distant third.
Yeah. I think that, man, I hope they really come out with a good lineup of games.
Yeah, that's gonna be the challenge. But
Yeah.
like, I think they are banking on nostalgia big time because that's their strongest suit, right? Like, we all grew up with it. Like, I mean, people who are 30, 25, 20, maybe even, they grew up on Nintendo games. And so Nintendo, I mean, those marketing guys, they know what they're doing, right? So they obviously want to push those kind of types of games and nostalgic type of games that
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
that Sony and Xbox don't have.
Yeah. I feel like this system is like, it's hard to explain, but I feel like it's designed for an adult. Like, I don't feel like it's like when you look at the GameCube, it looks like a toy. When you look at the Wii U, it looked just kind of, the round corners and the just the toy look aspect. Like, I feel like the Switch is like, you would see something sitting next to the PlayStation of, a 20-year-old guy or something like that. I just feel like they're trying to gear it more towards adults. You don't think that?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. My Switch, it sits in a drawer.
Really?
I don't even take it out. No, because after you beat Zelda, there's nothing else to play really right now until I get Mario.
Yeah.
So
I suppose.
Yeah.
You're abusing it then. You should have it sitting right next to your Xbox.
yeah, I would say the Xbox and the PlayStation 4 definitely look like adult game consoles because they look like they fit into your living room next to your TV. The Switch, yeah, I mean, I guess it depends which one you have. Remember, because there's that one that has the Joy-Cons that are red and blue.
Yeah, I don't like that one too much.
That's the one I have. That's the one I have.
I would have got the gray one because then at least you could maybe put a skin on it or something.
Yeah. So that's the one I got, and it looks pretty childish, but it's kind of what I got it. I guess that's why I got it too, right? Because it force feeds me that nostalgia even when I look at the console itself. Because it makes me think of a kid, right?
Yeah.
Like back in
So
the
that's
day.
totally opposite of what I'm saying then.
Yeah.
But that's because of the.
That's what I chose.
Of the color accent.
Yeah, I purposely chose that color accent.
Yet you keep it in a drawer. Fantastic.
Yeah. Anyway, so really quick, a rundown of single-player only games for 2017. Super Mario Odyssey, Zelda, Wolfenstein 2, Call of Duty World War II, Cuphead, South Park, Assassin's Creed, Origins. Not all of these games are single-player only. In fact, the only one that on this list it's not single-player only is Call of Duty. But if you've seen the single-player campaign in the new Call of Duty, it looks incredible. It looks so good and totally worthy of its own newest installment and you playing it. I saw this one level on the new Call of Duty where, so most Call of Duty...
The single player level?
Yeah. When you most Call of Duty levels, you just run through, you gun down the enemy or you blow up the enemy or you somehow just destroy them, right? In some way. And this level is an espionage level. Have you seen this?
No.
This is so cool. So imagine... basically a scene from the movie Valkyrie with Tom Cruise. You remember that? Where he was a Nazi.
I can't remember if I know the movie. I can't remember if I've ever seen it.
So basically, he's a Nazi who wants to assassinate Hitler, and there are scenes where they're very quiet scenes where there's no gunfire or anything, but the tension is so thick. you could literally feel it. And
you can cut it with a knife.
It's exactly right? And the game is kind of the same way, where you have to infiltrate this building full of Nazis, except you don't speak any German. And so what they did was, the initial phrase, you come up to a Nazi soldier, right? You don't have a gun or anything, and you have to infiltrate this building. to get to some person or something or some intel. Now imagine the Nazi says something to you German. There's no subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what they said, and you're given an option of how to respond. You have to choose the right response based on how the body language is of that Nazi German.
Wait, what is this again?
This is Call of Duty. This is Call of Duty.
God.
How crazy is that?
Oh, so you're like a spy
In this one level.
There's
this one level like that, yeah.
And you get confronted and
Yeah.
you have to keep your cover and blow it. In that moment.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's so, like, I saw it, I'm like, this is the most intense thing I've ever seen.
Sounds like Mission Impossible or something.
Yeah, and they're like these really creepy Germans, soldiers talking to you in different ways. Like, it's nuts. It's so good.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's 2017, this year.
Yeah.
2018, we have Far Cry 5, which is going to be co-op and single player.
Yeah.
You can play either way. Red Dead 2, most likely going to be single player with an online component.
Yeah.
God of War, probably going to be all single player, right? Spider-Man, Detroit Become Human.
That game seems so bizarre.
Which one?
Detroit Become Human.
Yeah.
Like, there's no gameplay. I just saw the cinematic trailer.
I can guarantee you I will not play it. Sony's making a huge deal out of it. I feel like they're pushing it at every conference they get.
It's supposed to be like a thriller or something?
It's choice. The whole thing's about choice. Like, you choose how you want to interact with your world. The only problem is, remember how we talked about choice last episode and how both you and I believe that choice should be invisible, just like in real life, where you make a decision and you stick with it in the game. But you don't actually get to see like dialogue boxes pop up that say, oh, make choice A, make choice B, make choice C. In this game, it's exactly that, where it shows you like 1, 2, 3, 4 different options. Pick one. Instead of you actually doing them. Like, one of the options, for instance, is stand still. The other one is fight back. The third one is run away. But it shows you them. Instead, just let the person choose what they want to do naturally.
Yeah, but the problem with that is a lot of people, if they're not instructed to do something, and this is with video games specifically, they won't know they have those options.
Yeah.
That's why when you're going through levels, you'll often see the exit lit by lighting or some kind of, sign, whether it's built into the environment or just very blatant, guiding the player because they just don't know.
Let me ask you this, though. I'm going to challenge your thought. Do you think it's because we're dumb?
Well,
or do you
no.
think it's because we've been taught that way by video games?
Well, I think intelligent game players can figure it out. I think new game players or casual game players probably won't figure it out. Because they just don't know what to
I would
expect.
agree with that. I would totally agree with that. But casual game players, I wonder if they're going to play a game like this. That's just so weird and out there. And not like... Because casual game players are probably going to play FIFA, Madden, Call of Duty, and Forza.
That's true. Yeah.
Right? I mean, I don't know. But
no,
maybe,
it'd be cool.
I think if that game would have a heavy training scenario, like in the beginning of it, right? So it trains the player to know, like, you have these options. And now, just choose on your own. Whatever choices you make, without us telling you what your options are, is how the game plays through. I think that'd be way cooler.
Yeah, that'd be way cool.
Okay, anyway, moving on. Shenmue 3, which is probably going to be garbage.
Don't they have different versions of the Shenmue? It's like Shenmue 3 and then Shenmue...
The Whale?
0.
Shenmue 3, Shenmue the Whale.
God. Yeah.
No, I love Shenmue 1. Shenmue 2 I was really disappointed with. Because I got stuck in a warehouse. And then Shenmue 3, the graphics look really bad. And I feel like from everything I've read and everything I've seen, which is not much, but the few things that I have seen, it looks too much like a Dreamcast game. Like, the graphics just aren't there. Like, it just doesn't look good. Nothing about it really stands out.
It looks like an arcade game.
Yeah, it just doesn't look good. Have you seen the new Ori?
No.
Man, that game is really pretty.
Is that hack and slash game?
It's a 2D platformer. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is what it's called. It's a sequel to Ori and the Blind Forest. Really, really pretty game. They don't have much info on it, but it looks pretty awesome. Last of Us 2, which, dude, okay, so do you remember how in the first or second episode I mentioned how games treat Christians like they are either evil or idiots? Yeah. Right? Uncharted 2. Have you seen the new preview? The second trailer?
Uncharted 2?
Uncharted, I'm sorry. Shoot, Last of Us 2. The crazy lady to start. She says she takes a lady, another human up, ties her up with a noose by the neck, pulls her up, puts a knife to her stomach, and says, "I have to cut this sin out of you."
Yeah.
How is that not a Christian reference? A crazy
cult,
Christian.
crazy cult.
Again, a crazy Christian. I don't get it. I don't get why gamers...
They're trying to subliminally brainwash us.
Something. They hate Christians. I don't know why.
Become an atheist is a global plan.
And then they take down one of the other people and they're like, break her wings off like an angel or something.
Yeah, I saw... it was a pretty intense... Like, I remember when I was in school for game design... One of the teachers told me it wasn't good to put like violence or gore in your portfolio.
Oh, really?
Because it just wouldn't come off right or something.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So when I saw that, it reminded me of that, and I felt like this is kind of extreme. I mean, it didn't bother me, but I could feel like how it could bother a lot of people.
Dude, it bothered me. It bothered me when they went to go break her arm.
Yeah.
That I couldn't even watch that. I had to look away because I'm like, that's too much.
Yeah, when they actually did it, I was surprised that, like, I thought somebody would come in, like, you know how that person comes in with the bow and arrow?
Yeah.
I thought they would have done that before they broke it. Like,
yeah.
But instead, you know, they break it, and then it kind of was like, holy shit, like, they're just going to let it go pretty hardcore.
But do you know who the characters are, the three characters they show?
No, I never met them before in my life.
The two obviously we don't know, right? The two like an Asian gal and an Asian guy. But the white girl, that's Ellie.
Ellie?
From the girl.
No way.
That I think I am. Again, I could be wrong about this. I think it's speculation.
Did you not see the first trailer?
Yeah, she looks totally different.
She's playing the guitar.
Yeah, but this one, it's rained on. She's totally messed up, and they think it's Ellie, and they think she's pregnant. And they're talking about the sin. They have to cut the sin out of her. Is that child?
Oh, you mean the one with the noose around her?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean that was Ellie?
Who'd you think, the Asian girl? You think she became Asian all of a sudden?
No,
part one, she's white. Part two,
the cult lady. I thought. It was
no,
I was like,
yeah, she's totally died.
I don't think so. That doesn't look like her.
Yeah, I agree, but I think it's from reading. Anyway, moving on.
People don't know what they're talking about.
Two more games. Days Gone, which looks. I think she looks really good.
I'm excited about it. I'm gonna see. I probably won't get it on release. It just depends.
I'm gonna see the review. I'm gonna wait
I have to see more, and I might have to wait a week. Yeah, see the reviews or something. But it looks interesting, and I like how you have to run from hordes but there's like a tactical way to do it. Like you can go through barricades and blow things up, and like it's pretty cool. So
roadblocks and all that.
Yeah.
I would say I really like that game, but every time I see it in gameplay, I've seen it a couple of times in gameplay. It looks very jagged. Like it doesn't look smooth, and maybe it's because it's so early in development. But it just doesn't feel like a smooth game that I want to play. And the final and last game is probably going to be the biggest game of 2017 or 18 as far as single player games go. Metro Exodus. And remember you saw that preview at last E3?
Oh, right.
You remember how good that preview looked?
Yeah.
So I listened to an interview with a developer from whatever company made Metro Exodus. That's actual gameplay. That wasn't CGI. That was actual gameplay.
Really? I never saw it, so I can't really...
You should definitely watch it because it looks incredible. It's probably one of the best games. Like, knowing this, it's probably the best looking game coming out, I think, next year.
Huh.
It just looks incredible. Anyway, so that's... As far as single player games dying, don't worry about it. This has happened again. It happened before. It happens every single year. Every year there's some little bit of news comes out, some game gets canceled, and the news outlets, they're no different than, I would say, like the CNN of the world, right? Where they kind of almost want to prey on your fear, and that's how they get their viewership.
Yeah.
Right? Same thing with these guys.
It's panic and fear, bring attention and...
Yeah, and so they're bringing people in by saying, single players are dying, single player games are dying. Yeah. Click here, see this article,
I've never believed that. It's bullshit. It's clickbait. Yeah. I mean, there's two other games that I wanted to mention and they're kind of early to tell. I'm kind of on the fence, but one of them is Vampire. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I've seen that little bit of it. Yeah. I don't know anything about it.
The only thing I'm concerned is the environment. I might get tired of it because it might look the same. Kind of like how Stealth... Was it Stealth? No. You play like that. You play a character where you just sneak through and steal people's stuff.
Thief.
Like, you know how Thief was just the same environment through the whole game?
I never played the whole game.
No, well, I feel like it's going to be...
Which part? The newest one?
The latest one.
Yeah, I haven't played through it. That's the only FIFA.
I feel like it's going to be like that. In the fighting mechanics looked a little clunky, so I'm concerned about that. But the overall aspect and theme of it looks pretty cool. And then Kingdom Come Deliverance. Have you heard of that one?
Yeah.
It's like a first person, but it's like a first person melee game.
Both of those games are wild cards.
Yeah, like I'm wondering if that kind of gameplay is going to get boring, because when I was looking at a video and you're fighting this guy, it's a sword fight, obviously. It seems like it goes really slow. So I'm wondering if you just kind of get bored of that kind of fighting mechanic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just swinging a sword the whole time, or a melee, an axe or something. But I'm curious to see more. Those will probably come out late 2018. Maybe not. They'll probably get delayed because they seem like they're still in development at least.
Vampire they've been talking about for a while. At least a year now. That I've heard a little bit about it, but yeah, who knows. The other thing I want to cover really quick for just a split second is 4K. This is just because the Xbox One X comes out, the Scorpio, for those that were lucky enough to get it. And a lot of you may be wondering, why would I get the Scorpio? What makes it better? So really, it's about one thing and one thing alone. It's 4K and nothing else. Because the HDR comes available on the PlayStation Pro, and it comes available on the Xbox One S, and it comes available on that PlayStation base model. And the only console really capable of true 4K native, on as far as I know, all games, is the Xbox One X. And so here's a quick breakdown of how 4K works.
It's funny how you said that.
X. I had to pause for a second because it's hard. It's hard because every time you say it, Xbox One S, Xbox One X. Why would they do that? I know it makes sense on a piece of paper, like where you see. That's probably how they signed off on it. They probably some executive got a piece of paper that said Xbox One S, Xbox One X. Without saying it out loud, he looks at it, he signs off on it, done, print, go. Yeah. Right.
Not knowing they sound similar.
Yeah, and they sound like the same freaking thing. So you gotta. That's why I wish they would just called it Scorpio. It would have made way more sense.
I think so. Yeah.
But even then, people would be confused because they're like, is the Xbox One S short for Scorpio?
Oh, yeah.
Right? This,
so either way, like...
I don't know what they were thinking.
Anyway, proceed.
Anyway, three types of 4K. One, there's the 4K upscaling. And what that is, in its most simplest form, is they take the 1080p image or 720p image and they blow it up to fill your screen. It doesn't look that much better, and you don't get much out of it, and that's it. That's how simple that is. They blow up an existing image. So the next level up is 4K checkerboard. Now what they do here is it's pretty clever. Imagine you have a blue pixel and a green pixel next to each other, and this is 1080p. To make it 4K, what they do is they fill in the empty space around them that would make the image bigger. So one blue pixel becomes 2 blue pixels, becomes 3 blue pixels, becomes 4 blue pixels. So the image looks a lot clearer and a lot crisper, but it's not true 4K because the pixels are now overused. And this is the way almost all of the games in the PlayStation Pro are. It's like a halfway point of 4K. It still looks really good because the picture looks clear, but you don't get the full effect. Now, the next level up is native 4K with actual 4K resolution. The pixels are exactly where they should be to fill a full 4K picture, and that's what Xbox One X promises. We don't know if it's going to get there because it's obviously a lot cheaper and easier for developers to just do checkerboard or upscaling.
Is it?
Yeah, for sure. For sure, because for upscaling, Xbox actually has its own software that will upscale games for them.
But I thought game developers always developed their games at a higher resolution and then brought it down for whatever platform they were making it. So when they're developing
it's on PC as well.
Yeah, so if they're developing it, aren't they already developing it in 4K or similar resolution?
I believe if it's on PC as well, then yes. If it's not, then I'm not 100% sure because they might be just like, for instance, if a game like Uncharted 4, right? It wasn't ever gonna come out for anything else, and I don't think it ever did. Hopefully I'm not wrong, because imagine if I'm wrong about this, somebody looks it up and like, actually Uncharted 4 came out on PC and blah 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 blah.
No, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, hopefully not. Like, why would you ever want to over map it, right? Or overwork the system where you know you can get the greatest fidelity of the visuals at this one level and one level only. By the way, interesting fact about the Xbox One X. The development on that started in 2012.
Wow, a long time ago.
5 years, almost 6 years ago.
Do you think they put it on hold though?
No,
during that time?
they've been working it the whole time.
That's
And
crazy.
even back then, they had the foresight to know that I listened to this interview with them, and what they said was, I think it was something Pinello, Albert Pinello, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And what he was saying was that the mandate was always 4K, and whatever the console did, however it did it, whatever internal specs we had, it had to be 4K for all the games. And then I remember somebody challenged him, like, well, what if you gave it more power? Then you could be 4K and 60 frames in all the games, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, no. And here's why. He's like, no matter how powerful you make a system, some developers will just put more into the graphics to make it look nicer instead of giving it more frames. Because some games are just better that way. Like, for instance, Uncharted, you probably never need 60 frames per second for that, right? Because it's a slow-paced game. Same with, like, say, like, Skyrim. You probably never need 60 frames per second on that, right? Or do you think...
You might.
Damn it, Victor. Damn it.
I think...
See, I like it a lot better when you just agree with me.
Well, when you're playing Skyrim and you're casting spells, all those effects, I think you need a higher frame rate.
What frame is it at? It's probably 30, right?
For the console, yeah, probably.
Oh, for the PC, it's probably uncapped, huh?
Well, yeah. For the console, I think it is 30 though.
Huh. Okay. Anyway, that was my little 4K.
Well, you know, there's a lot of rumors that are building about PlayStation coming out. You know, probably announcing PlayStation 5 within the coming year. So.
No way.
So.
No way.
Yeah, dude.
No way.
And there was an interview.
That's about as likely as Pamela Anderson giving you a blowjob right now.
No,
there's
dude,
no way.
No, well, I mean,
in the next year,
PlayStation has to come out with something anyway, because how are they going to compete with the Xbox? I mean, they have to make something to.
Dude, here's why you're wrong. Right now, as PlayStation sits, they are so far ahead of sales, so far that they are not even worried about the Xbox, because there's no way overpriced.
So you don't think the Xbox Scorpio will make a difference
sales wise?
Well, you don't think it'll gain?
I don't think so. I think it might give you a little bit of boost in November when it comes out, but after that, I think it's gonna taper off.
How much is the price?
$500.
God, man, and no Connect.
And no Connect compared to the PlayStation Pro's $400 for the Pro, like $250 for the base PlayStation 4. Dude, there's no way this is gonna make a dent in it. But what will make a dent, I bet, is Xbox One S sales, because the Xbox One X looks so good. But even then, I don't know if that's gonna be enough. I think Xbox is gonna have to, like, this right here would have been a perfect year for them to start coming out with a bunch of really good games releasing this year. But because PlayStation has nothing for this holiday season, right?
So what? So it's going to be 4K, but what games are coming out that are going to be 4K at a 4K grade, or are games that are already released getting a 4K patch?
So every Xbox exclusive is going to be 4K,
which are Forza, obviously,
Gears of War,
bread and butter,
Sea of Thieves, what else is there? Is that it?
That's it. 3 strikes, you're out. Oh my
God. I don't know what else is there.
That's why Xbox sucks, ladies and gentlemen. Overall,
there's I think over 150 games that are going to get the 4K treatment.
Yeah.
For the Xbox One X.
I think so. I think I read
it's a huge amount of games. Like I said, the Witcher, I looked it up. The Witcher and the Witcher expansion packs are all getting 4K treatment.
Mm-hmm.
But have you seen, like, Metro, like you're looking up right now. This is this Exodus? Yeah. Mm-hmm. This game looks so good. You gotta see the video though. You have to see the video to really appreciate just how amazing this game looks.
Wow.
There is so much detail and everything. At one time the character walks into this abandoned house, and it looks completely lived in. It looks like some family maybe just evacuated in the middle of everything, left it all one place, and it's been decaying ever since. But every piece of detail is present, and everything, how like the motion of the way the character moves around the world and all the other like elements that interact with it looks so good. I would say it's probably the best looking game. I think I would call, if that's really how it's gonna look, like that guy said.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be the best looking game in 2017.
Damn, it might just be.
Yeah, it looks so good. Okay, anyway, moving on. Next part, retro gaming, and how it doesn't matter.
And how it doesn't matter,
and how it does not matter.
I would have agreed with you, say maybe a year ago, but I feel like retro gaming is trying to make not really a comeback, but really just a statement that it's real, that it's still here, and that it could still be attractive and playable to existing gamers, new gamers, and or in between.
Do you think it's relevant?
I don't think it's well. Yes and no. I don't think the games themselves are relevant, but I think the fact that they're trying to make something, kind of affordable, fun to play, quick to connect or whatever, just like a party favorite. Would you say? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think in that aspect, yes. But
a party favorite.
Like a party favorite, like when you have friends over and you want to play, and
you'll get really drunk and you're like, hey, why don't we play the hardest game ever on Nintendo? Right?
Or whatever.
Everybody gets frustrated and goes home.
Exactly. That's how you end up every night, right? I mean, and with a Nintendo making the two mini classics and being sold out because everybody just seems to want to buy them. I mean, why wouldn't it be something that maybe PlayStation and Xbox could consider making, like a small mini portable device that represents the original systems of the PlayStation and the Xbox, with the same thing as Nintendo, some preloaded games, and maybe you can buy additional games later or whatnot.
Okay, so what about this? The Nintendo Classic and the Super Nintendo Classic, or whatever you'd want to call it, were different, not just in video games and graphics and sound, not just in the software. They were different in the hardware, whereas the controller itself was vastly different from what controllers we have now. There's no joysticks on it, right? There's fewer buttons, and they're I think they're even pressure sensitive.
Yeah.
Right. So the actual gameplay could never be the same. On the PlayStation and the Xbox, there's the joysticks, there's the pressure sensitive button, there's all that. So
you're saying it works for Nintendo because of the simplicity of their controllers?
Yeah, because it's so different that people can go back. But with these, is PlayStation and Xbox, are they different enough? And first of all, when you say PlayStation and Xbox originals, right? Xbox, the original Xbox came out during the PlayStation 2. So do you mean PlayStation 2 Classic, or do you mean PlayStation?
No, I mean PlayStation. I mean the PlayStation, original PlayStation, and the original Xbox.
So that I think the PlayStation might work. I don't know if the Xbox, because that was 32-bit, right? And the Xbox was 128, or was that even bits at that point? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
They had a hard drive.
I mean, the Nintendo Classic and the NES weren't the same generation, and they staggered each other in that respect.
Yeah,
I think it would be great. I think it'd be a great idea, because not only could they make these affordable, but they could also make it to where you don't need a controller. You can use your existing controller that you have on your PlayStation.
That's what Xbox is doing. They're bringing the original Xbox games on the Xbox One.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
you don't have to buy a new console.
Yeah, but
they skip that step together.
I still think it's a fantastic idea.
To do what?
To consider, Xbox or PlayStation making a mini console. I'm not saying yes, go do it. I'm just saying, why wouldn't they? If they would sell out just like the Nintendos do.
I would agree with you, and I wish, same thing for Nintendo. I wish that they would, instead of releasing the Nintendo Classic, the small little thing, and same thing with like the Xbox or PlayStation, a small little console, I want them to release the exact same console they had before. The only difference being, instead of having the weird connection, whatever connections they had at the time for the TV, just make an HDMI cable. That's the only difference.
Oh,
I'd love to have the exact same console as before, like the same size. The Nintendo still had the little flip up.
So you want a replica?
Yeah.
A replica.
Yeah. I would like that more, I think.
Really?
Yeah. I think so.
So would you want the cartridge also?
Yes.
What?
I would love to have the cartridge too. I want the exact same thing. Because like being a collector of game systems, That's what I'd want. I'd want the original, like as close to the original as possible.
How many game systems do you have?
I have, let's see. So Xbox One, Scorpio now. Xbox One, Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, the original Xbox, Xbox 360, Nintendo 64, Nintendo Switch, Game Boy Color. I think that's it.
Oh, okay.
I think that's it.
Yeah. And those are that you've never gotten rid of one before?
I got rid of the Xbox, the original Xbox, and I got rid of the original Nintendo. I got rid of the Super Nintendo, the original Xbox, and the PlayStation 2. And I rebought the original Xbox, and I'm gonna probably rebuy all the other ones because you can get a used like original PlayStation or PlayStation 2 for like $40. They're really cheap.
For how much?
Like $40.
Oh.
Yeah, and like
I don't know if I could buy that stuff. It's too big. It's too bulky. It takes up too much space. I just want something like I want something new age, reinvented. That's what I would prefer.
Dude, if you want something new age, go get some horse pills
What?
made of I don't know, whatever the people take these days. But so let's say like what you're saying, right? Let's go with that. Let's go with the Microsofts and the Sonys. They go out and they make the new console for you. If they could only put say 3 to 5 games on it, what would be the games that you choose that they would put on each console?
I only picked the PlayStation side because that's the only one I would care about.
That's ridiculous because I did both.
Well, I'm not a team player. No, I couldn't. I don't know. But so for the ones I picked for PlayStation would be Metal Gear 1.
Boom! Right here, high five.
Boom.
Yeah, baby. That's exactly what I picked.
That game was like the epitome of like espionage stealth.
It's the best game on PlayStation.
And they,
for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the camera angles, the just the tense.
The first game where you feel like you're playing a movie.
Yeah, that game was amazing. And then when they redid it, obviously, but yeah. The next one would be Tekken 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that game sucks, but continue.
Dude, that game was, oh my god, dude. That was like one of the best games ever in that.
Yeah, I guess if you like pixels interacting with other pixels.
No, dude. Oh my god. Dude, Tekken 3 was the best, probably the best fighting game in that era, in that time.
That's what it was, a fighting game?
Yeah.
I could never tell what was happening. The graphics were so bad.
Oh my god. Dude, all the graphics on every game were that bad up there at that time.
PlayStation does suck, I agree. We'll continue.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Oh man,
yeah, that's a
that
good
game
choice.
was like, dude, that game will bring back memories, man. Like, it doesn't matter if you were a skater or not.
Oh,
I'm sure
that's a good game.
Many people got that game, played the game, whatever. It was just like it was almost like zen, like relaxing, like meditation.
Especially when you nailed down like those really long grinds.
Oh
and
yeah,
oh my god, it was so good.
Oh dude, that game.
I missed that game.
Man,
yeah, that's a good.
We should revisit it.
Okay, what else?
I kind of was on the fence about this, but Resident Evil 3 Nemesis.
I would have picked 2. I would have picked 2.
I was gonna consider either or, but 2 looked worse in terms of graphics than part 3. So that's why I went with 3. I was almost gonna just put them both together because either one could have worked, but whatever. And then of course the last one, Spyro the Dragon.
Why Spyro?
Because it's the fucking shit, dude. What do you mean?
So
why
I
Spyro
played
the
it.
Dragon?
I thought
it's in there with like Mario, Banjo Kazooie, Crash Bandicoot. What do you mean, dude?
Okay, so Banjo Kazooie and Mario, really good games.
Yeah.
Spyro and Crash, not so good.
I would say Crash at the bottom of the list, but Spyro was good.
Was it?
Yeah.
I didn't ever enjoy it. Okay, so that's your list then, huh?
Yeah, that's mine. For the PlayStation, fuck Xbox.
I did both. If PlayStation came out, Metal Gear Solid is the top of my list for sure. But I bet you that's at the top of everyone's list.
Yeah.
After that, Crash Bandicoot. Instead of... And not because it's a better game.
I was going to consider it, but they just remade it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not going to consider that. They just remastered it.
Okay,
that's why I didn't... That's actually why I didn't put it on there.
That's a good point.
Yeah. See, I actually pay attention.
Damn. Okay, so I have 3 games now. Forget Crash. Final Fantasy 7.
I was gonna put that, but we had a discussion like what 1 or 2 podcasts ago about how Final Fantasy needs to go away.
Yeah, it does.
So why do you?
I agree.
Why do you have that on the list?
Because there's for every piece of information that makes sense that comes out of my mouth,
Yeah.
there's a fanboy out there that says, no,
Yeah.
this is what needs to happen. This is for the fanboys. This is for the fanboys that are just going to whine about it. So, Final Fantasy VII and Gran Turismo 2.
Yeah. I could. Yeah.
That started an entire subgenre of racing.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember walking into my friend's apartment or something like that, and he was playing it. Or no, me and my friend walked into our friend's apartment. Yeah, and he was playing it, and I was just mesmerized by how good it looked.
Yeah, at the time it looked amazing.
And I was just like, whoa. And then I tried to play it, and I was like, holy shit, I suck, but it still looks great. But yeah, I like that game.
So for the Xbox, dude. Okay, I'm gonna just stop for a second, pause everything. I just had the best idea. What would be the top 3 Nintendo 64 games? If Nintendo 64 came out the same thing, what would be the top 3 games?
Top 3?
Go.
Well, Mario,
okay. Off the top of your head. Ocarina of Time and GoldenEye. Boom. Done.
Well, yeah, those are so typical though.
They are so typical. They're the best.
Of course everybody's gonna say that.
Yes.
Like, I want to pick something that's like unique.
Okay, what?
Banjo-Kazooie.
I
mentioned that.
So Mario.
Mario's Banjo-Kazooie.
Okay, well, would you want 2 the same, almost the exact same games?
Yeah. What else came out?
I would say Banjo would be better.
Yeah.
I like Banjo better. It came out later, but it looked better, and I think it was more fun. I think. Okay. Shoot. What else did come out on Nintendo 64?
There was this fighting game, but I can't remember the name of it.
There was also Diddy Kong Racing. That was really fun. That was a really fun game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, that would have to be on there.
Yeah.
That would totally have to be on there.
Super Smash Brothers was
so Smash Brothers, Zelda, and Mario. I mean, I think that's what you'd have to make.
Yeah.
Zelda, Mario, Smash Brothers.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Well, it's gonna be Banjo-Kazooie. Okay, anyway, back to the Xbox. So, here are the 4 games that I think would make a killer list, and I have an action adventure-ish game. I have a stealth game, a racing game, and an RPG.
Wait, for what are you talking about?
The original Xbox.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
For top of my list, the original Splinter Cell. That would be a really good game.
Yeah.
Because many people wouldn't have played it.
That game was fucking amazing.
And to be clear, I totally omitted Halo because Halo has been remade twice now.
Yeah.
And I think everybody knows exactly what Halo is.
I think Halo's made his point.
Yeah. So, original Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
Project Gotham Racing. The first one. It was a really fun game. Imagine Gran Turismo if it was fun. So that...
More arcadey, you mean?
No, I literally mean fun.
Oh. Oh, man.
So, like, it seriously is. Gran Turismo is a very serious game that was very intense. Project Gotham is a very fun game.
Wow.
Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's just fun. It's just pure fun.
Yeah.
You get points for style racing. That's where your points come from.
Huh.
So, then after that, the original Fable. Right, because that was a classic.
Yeah.
That we haven't seen a remaster of or anything, which is crazy.
I feel like the recent Fables haven't been very good.
What are the recent Fables?
Like Fable 3 or...
No, Fable 3 was very good. That was at 360.
Oh.
The only recent Fable, I would agree with you, there was one, is where you used the Kinect. And that one...
Was that the most recent one?
I don't know if that even ever came out, but that wasn't very good. They were making one that didn't look very good, and they canceled it.
Okay.
Right before launch.
Okay.
But anyway, so Fable 1, and for the final, the Deep RPG, Jade Empire.
I can't say I've ever played that one. Jade Empire.
Is that
a combat simulator?
No. It's an RPG. It was made by BioWare. And it was before BioWare came out with the whole Mass Effect universe. So it's back when BioWare first tried to make a game that had its own... its own universe. I hate to reuse the same terminology I just used, but it had its own universe. It was their first attempt at it, and it got really stellar reviews. Like, really great game. It was set in like ancient China or Japan or something. Obviously, it didn't look very good. It was on the original Xbox, but
that don't look too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's okay.
Original Xbox, shoot.
Yeah,
not bad.
But that's why I thought your question was kind of weird, because the games back then, the original Xbox didn't look that much. I mean, that horrible, right?
Maybe PlayStation 2 would have to be the one too, instead of the original.
No, I would say 64 and original PlayStation. Those would be the next two.
Oh, right.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, so those are my 4. Splinter Cell, Project Gotham Racing, Fable, Jade Empire. Boom. Done.
Boom, bada boom. Cool. So, Paris Games Week and how lackluster it was.
Yeah, so imagine this. Imagine you're in a movie and it's one of those bathhouses you see, right? Like it's some like mob movie or something, right? There's steam coming up. Yeah. You don't have really a good field of view, right? You can't see that far ahead of you. You're walking through this mess, and there's people around you, but you're trying to kind of navigate you through the fog. And at one point is you kind of have your hands forward. You grab a penis.
Oh.
And that's what Paris Games Week was like.
What the
That's my analogy.
Wow.
So here's what Sony promised. So right off the bat, Sony said this will be like we continued E3. And I couldn't agree more. It's just like they continued E3 because all they did was show the same games again.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
There was one new game. Did you catch it?
Ghost of Tsushima?
Ghost of... Yeah, something like that. You know, is that how you pronounce it?
Tsushima.
Tsushima.
The T, I think the T is like half silent. Tsushima.
Sushi.
Ghost of Sushi. Ghost of Tsushima.
My girlfriend had this game for dinner tonight. Ghost of Sushi. Oh. But yeah, overall, it didn't really have much to offer. It had a new trailer for Last of Us that showed absolutely nothing about the game.
Yeah.
It had God of War, which we already know looks amazing. It had Shadow of the Colossus, which is a remake from the PlayStation 2 era. We had Detroit, which showed a little more of a game we don't want to play, and Monster Hunter, which is a game no one cares about. Overall, a pretty good show, right?
There was other games I saw that sounded interesting.
What?
The Gardens Between.
I haven't even heard of that. What is that?
It's well.
Between what?
There's that one. Well, we'll pull them up here in a minute. Okay. But Megalith. It's kind of like Overwatch, but it's very colorful. You play as these like Titan-like creatures, or these beasts. They're called Titans.
Titan-like.
They're called robots? No, they're called Titans, but they're like beasts. They're like these giant animals, and it's supposed to be said like it plays like Overwatch, and it's kind of colorful and artsy. Almost.
It's a first-person shooter.
It's a first. Yeah, it's a first person. I think there's very little on it. It's like just a very teaser trailer. So who knows what it really is, but that one seems interesting. So I'd like to see more. Megalith. Or wait, didn't I just say that? Megalith. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. The Final Fantasy 15 episodes, Ignis, that's coming out.
What
that looks really good. It's like DLC. It's
Is that the fishing one? Is that the fishing simulator? No.
No. This is the final like major single player add-on for Final Fantasy 15. Concrete Genie. It's this weird game where you play in these like open streets of this boy. And
you play in these open streets as a boy.
Yeah, you're this boy, and you're in kind of like in these old streets of Europe. These these brick streets with the brick buildings and all that stuff. And you paint these murals, and they come to life. It looks totally bizarre, but it looks really cool. I'd be interested to see that. And then there's another game called Erica, which is weird because it's trying a bunch of new things at once. So it's like it's like a live interaction movie, kind of like Until Dawn, but it's live action. All of it's live action, no 3D graphics or anything like that. So it's all acted out.
Dude, that's funny.
Yeah.
You know what last time they did that was? Like back on I think Super Nintendo.
I can't
There was a horror game that was all live action. And you get to choose like what like the teenagers or whoever would do.
Yeah.
And that's what seems like
it. Yeah. And in this one you can use your phone as the controller.
Your real phone?
Yeah. I guess it's part called PlayStation's PlayLink Initiative, where you can use your phone as a controller.
What's
PlayLink? The program to use your phone as a controller.
Do other games use that?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. But anyway, so there's that game, and then there's what other one? There's Cards Between, Far Cry just
Hang
announced
on,
that.
let's back up for a second. So the PlayStation Phone Link Initiative, the initiative they're using has one game that nobody's ever heard of.
Well, they don't even have this game. It's not even out yet.
Is the app out yet for this initiative?
Oh, I don't know. We should check it out.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, those are a few games that are like, they seem like indie games. They don't seem obviously.
That's what they sound like.
They don't sound like big budget games, but and then Marvel's Spider-Man, they showed that one again. Yeah, I'm not really interested in it.
Oh.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Just kidding, looks great.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
But the only game when I saw Ghost of Tsushima, looks like what I thought as soon as I saw it was like a Witcher style game.
Yes.
But in feudal Japan, all based on a samurai.
Yes.
That's exactly what I thought.
Except it's made by Sucker Punch, who make platformers.
Yeah.
And weird games that don't like.
Yeah. So I'm concerned if it'll be a good open world, but
it sounds cool.
Yeah.
You get to be a samurai.
But the graphic
quality,
the graphic quality of the trailer should tell you something about the.
You can't say that. That's just CGI. They admitted to it. It has nothing to do with the
I
game.
know it has CGI, but a game that's gonna spend that much money on their cinematics
is wanting to sell games and nothing else. That's all they
won't have any money for graphics.
Oh.
No, but I think I have big hopes for that game.
Yeah,
with as little as there is.
Cool.
Yeah.
It sounds super cool. The CGI graphics that had nothing to do with the game looked really good.
Just the lore of it.
Yeah.
The darkness kind of towards the end, when he's like standing in front of the fire, like he's trying to go out for vengeance or something. It just seems very cool. It might be. I'm hoping it's a very good story.
But it looked cool. It looked really cool. Or I should say the concept sounds really cool. I don't know if it looked cool or not. It's just like a CGI trailer. That I would say of all the PlayStation games coming out, God of War included, Last of Us 2, everything. That game, just on that premise alone, I think I'm most interested in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that looked really cool. Hopefully, I mean, I know they've had experience with open world games before, right?
Who?
Sucker Punch.
I don't know exactly.
Is that who's making this game? Isn't it Sucker Punch?
Yeah, Sucker Punch making the game.
Yeah, because they made Infamous.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like an open world.
That's an open world. They made it. Yeah. They made 3: Infamous, Infamous 2, and Infamous Second Son, or was 2 Second Son?
I think 2 was Second Son.
But did they make a third one where the girl was the lead character?
Maybe like DLC or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
maybe.
Yeah, that looked really good. Beyond that, man, there's really not much, right? There's all these games, like a lot of them do look good. The God of War looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that's really cool about God of War, the new God of War, the entire game is one continuous shot. There's no camera break.
What? Of God of War?
Yeah. You see that funny? What?
What?
All of a sudden, you're like a British guy. What? Let me get you some crumpets and some tea.
What?
What? God.
I don't. Anyway, what were we saying?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Something about God of War. Oh, continuous shot.
Yeah.
What?
It's a continuous shot.
Yeah. So the entire game. Imagine this. Imagine a game the camera never feeling black. Right, never collapsing.
Yeah,
it's just the whole time you're behind the character's shoulder or something. The camera may be moving around, but it never takes a break. So it never blacks out or whites out.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one shot the entire game. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. The other thing is, so let's see.
That's crazy. What the hell?
Yeah, so I took some notes on a bunch of the games that came out. Here's one thing that's a little bit discouraging, and actually it might be really good for some people. Shadow of the Colossus. Which looks really good.
I'm highly anticipating that game. I'm going to get it when it comes out.
The controllers haven't changed, so it still feels like it feels almost like a plain broken game because the controls are bad.
Really?
They didn't update them.
Well, when I played it, I didn't seem to have a problem with it.
But you played it how long ago?
When it first came out.
Yeah.
So
back then, all the games were broken, right? I mean,
but there wasn't that many buttons. I mean, there was just literally
on the controller.
No, that you actually use for anything. I mean, I think there was just like the grab and then the attack button, and then maybe a run button, but that was it. I mean, it was very simple. You really didn't need.
Really?
from what I remember, I don't think I will use most of the unless they incorporated something new in this remake. But
no, they said the controllers are basically the same thing.
Yeah, which are probably jump, run, attack. I imagine. And then you ride a horse. Maybe there's like horse commands, like you whistle or something. But yeah. I hope that game's not $60 because I don't think it's a $60 game. It should be like $40.
I think every remake should be.
I hope it's like $40. If it's $60, I'll probably buy it used. So whatever.
I think every remake should be half the price, like $30.
Yeah.
The Last of Us 2, that trailer that we saw, the second trailer, was in-game graphics.
In-game graphics?
That's what they said.
Wow.
They said that was.
I saw it when I first saw the first trailer. I was like, "Holy shit! The
first trailer I don't know about. The second trailer is in-game graphics.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, I'm saying just even then to say the second one is in-game graphics is impressive to me. But
the first one's where that Ellie girl is sitting on a bed playing guitar, right? Yeah. And the camera just kind of pans through the house towards her.
Through the house, and Joel walks in, and that's
Joel
really
was
about
in that first one.
Yeah, he walks in towards the end.
Oh, because he's like, we gotta go or something, right?
No, he's like, I can't remember what he says exactly, but I think he's like, really, Ellie, you're gonna go for this or something like that, or.
Are you sure he doesn't say we have to go?
No.
You're not sure, or he doesn't?
No, I don't think he says that.
So you think he says?
Are you really gonna go through with this, or something to that effect? He says something like that.
I was gonna bet you, but I think you're right. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, because people are saying that Joel is dead.
Yeah,
and that's a figment of her imagination, and she's actually out for revenge for his death.
Because this game's supposed to be a lot darker than the first.
Yeah, so I think.
But how did it even get darker? The first one was really freaking dark.
Well, a lot of people say it wasn't like. I think the developers actually said the first game was supposed to be about love and bonding.
Yeah.
But then they also said this one is supposed to be about death and hate
rage.
And rage. So I think something dramatic happened that probably, between games or something. But I wouldn't be surprised because that's that kind of storyline.
Here's the crazy thing, and I agree, that first one did have some love and bonding, right? Because Joel and Ellie, they find each other, right? They're these two people that were as different as can be. And they didn't have very much in common. They didn't want to do anything with each other, but they needed each other, and through that they bonded. This second one, if you talk about how it's supposed to be darker and about rage and revenge, that first game was really freaking dark. I mean, Joel lost his wife. Yeah. Right. She got eaten. He lost his daughter. Yeah. His brother didn't want to have
not his wife per se. It was like his girlfriend / partner.
Whatever the hell she was.
But yeah.
Trouble with his brother. He killed, I don't know, 150 people.
Right? Yeah, it was a dark game.
Yeah,
but you don't think of it as a dark game because the story of Ellie and Joel kind of give you hope.
And that's the crazy thing is is it really worth to kill like 150 people for 2 people to survive?
Well, if they're bad people, all the people they killed were bad people.
Were they?
I would. Who's bad in a post-apocalyptic world, right? Who's bad? Everybody's fighting for survival.
Yeah.
But I think it's obvious that in that game they were fighting bad people.
I don't know.
Except for maybe the Fireflies. I mean, the Fireflies wanted to do good, right?
Yeah, because they wanted
to perform surgery on Ellie, get something from her body to hopefully get some kind of vaccine or antidote. And they were good people, but they were going to kill Ellie in the process and set Joel free, but Joel's like, not having it, so he goes in there.
Yeah, so he kills the Fireflies.
Yeah.
He takes out the girl and then lies about it.
Yeah, lies to Ellie about it.
Yeah, so is he really that good?
That's what I don't know, dude.
I mean, maybe you play this, maybe that's a trick, is you play as the enemy the entire game and you don't even realize it.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Who's really the enemy in the post-apocalyptic setting?
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. Anyway, that's pretty much the Paris game show, right? Like we had Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Sushi, which looks really good.
Ghost of Sushi.
The Ghost of Sushi.
I hope they have California Roll or Dragon Roll.
So, one thing I did want to mention.
Ooh, with avocado.
Do you remember Rayman Legends?
Yeah.
Someone I know who I will not name recently was talking to me about that game. And she says, "Do you wanna play that rainbow game?" Rainbow, I said. She goes, "Yeah, the one with the colorful, beautiful monsters."
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a lot funnier to you. Never mind. Fuck this. Okay, so anyway, that's our show.
I don't get where you were trying to go with that.
Damn it! That was the whole thing. That was the punchline. But I guess maybe it's not funnier for me because I was there in the moment.